got a super special guest, something a little bit different. I'm looking to be educated. It's one of the first times that I'm sitting in front of somebody or with somebody that I think probably has so much insight. I'm even looking forward to it simply because it's probably going to change the trajectory of what it is that I think about science, health, everything, right? So, Yahki,
Yeah,
is it
Yahki.
Yahki Awaken?
Yahki awaken.
Got
Well,
Big
it's
Dog in front of me.
Yakai Rafa Elohim, but all of my supporters and followers call me Yahki awaken.
Yeah, let me give a shout out to my dog Boom Man also.
Shouts out to him.
Always looking out, always a good dude. I actually love this guy and he's a hustler and so he's a guy after my own heart. So I just want to give a shout out to him. But we're gonna kick it with him shortly. What's up, Big Dog? How you feel?
Man, I feel good, feel amazing. You know, back in Detroit, we were just here last month at Wayne State University.
Really?
I had we real close with Wayne State. We do a lecture probably once a year, talking about anatomy, physiology, science, botany. We just go real deep in on pathology and stuff like that. So we was literally just here.
Wow.
So it feel good to be back.
Yeah, man. I'm just learning about you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because of the way that you explain things, it gives me more insight and it makes me a little bit more interested in what you do versus when I've seen other people talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you break things down. I like to say I'm a C student,
Yeah.
but you break things down intellectually, but simple enough, it seems like, for people to really understand what it is that you're saying.
Yeah.
You actually are really educated in what it is that you do.
Yeah.
So how do you I know you say you're a master healer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what do you actually like, what is your background in a general sense? Not the educational part, but where you come from and how you get into.
So I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
Still stay there to this very day.
Really?
That's where my headquarters at, my clinics, my herbal stores, my warehouse.
What made you stay in the city?
I wouldn't call it an emotional attachment, but I feel like I am pulled that way, and I feel like I'm gonna be one of the saviors that actually uplift my city. If you look at my city is like the #1 murder capital of
Yeah,
the
we get that
USA.
label a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's real bad out there, and I contribute to a lot of the bad things that's happening in the city. So I just feel like it's part of my responsibility to clean it up. And then I see a lot of people, you know, they get big, they become millionaires,
Yep.
and then they become positive, but they do it
Outside
everywhere
of the place that
except
they came
where
from.
they grew up at.
Yep.
And I started doing that too because I started noticing a lot of hate from my community.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I was getting the hate is because I really wasn't putting back in. So this is what I noticed. We as artists, or we as celebrities, we as speakers, we tend to do what we want to do, you know. But if we are giving a service to the people, we literally at the detriment of the people. So I need to ask the people what they want from me, and I wasn't doing that at first. And since I wasn't doing that at first, I wasn't getting no support from the city. I was getting millions of support outside of the city, but I never asked my people in my city what they wanted or what they needed. But when I started doing that and tending to their wants and needs, I noticed that my at-home support went through the roof. So, you know, because of that, I just feel like I need a responsibility. I was in the streets. I was the one bringing crime and stuff. I got my felonies out there. So that's where I need to be at, making my rights. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that you kind of got to blow up outside of your city before your city really show you appreciation?
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly
it's the
what
same
happened.
thing with me, right? So I could have moved anywhere.
Yeah.
I went and lived in Miami. It was really for the pandemic simply because of it was so locked down here.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a lot of freedom out there in Florida. And so it was the first time that I was able to take my family, because, you know, she's 15 now, but I got a daughter that's still in grade school. So with her being out of school, we was kind of able to move over there for like 4 months during the wintertime. But I decided to make my headquarters everything that I'm doing here, whereas a lot of other people leave.
You did the same thing I'm doing.
Yeah, and that's why I was curious.
But
as
you
to
getting
what made you do
properties
that.
everywhere else too. So like, even though I'm in St. Louis, we never in St. Louis because again, we in Miami. I'm in Miami once.
It's like a second home.
Yeah, it's a second home. Miami's my second home, literally.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I just don't think everybody operate different. But it's as far as me, and I see as far as you, where you come from is where you come from, and that is we have a responsibility to our community, and that's just simply what it is. And until I feel like I did what I needed to do and did do my part, that's where my headquarters gonna be.
Okay, that's dope. Well, I mean that's impressive because I also, you know, I try to say that I'm a part of the fabric of my community because obviously I was born and raised here.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I still have to be mindful of the idea that everybody don't necessarily see me as a benefit. Some people see me as a come up, right?
Yeah,
How do
facts.
you deal with that as far as, having a balance between being a lightning rod for your community versus the possibility of somebody seeing you as an opportunity?
I'm still dealing with it, and now I'm learning that somebody seeing me as an opportunity is not a bad thing.
Mm,
So it's all about perspectives and the way we look at stuff. So I used to be like, dang, everybody using me. But then it's like, everybody using you is because the Most High put you in a position to be used. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, and that's what it's about. There is no relationship that we get into where we're not being used. Even with your significant other, you getting used for sex, you getting
Yeah.
used for protection, you getting used for provision. The whole thing is the reciprocation. So, set boundaries, make sure that that reciprocity is there.
Hmm.
And then off the boundaries you set, all right, let's start using each other. There's nothing wrong with using each other as long as it's not usury and you not getting your end of the bargain. And I just think that the Most High put me in a position I am to take care of my family and to take care of my community, to feed the homeless, to heal the sick. I'm literally, I'm at service. Everybody look at me like I'm the king and I'm the God. I know that's within me, but I am a servant to my brother and sister first. So I
Yeah.
expect it to get used long as I am getting something out of that bargain though. You know what
How
I'm
do
saying?
you balance the hate, right? One of the things that I've personally experienced, and I don't actually know anybody that's become incredibly successful without experiencing, especially in the social media era that we live in. It seems as though, and honestly, I don't experience it in person. I've never seen anybody that said anything negative to me in person.
Mhm.
But it's a lot of times, and I understand it might even be people that don't even understand that they doing it. That's
Yeah.
just something that's within them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way
Self
they was taught.
projection. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
How do you deal with like people that want to prove you wrong, or anybody that got something to say that may not necessarily align with what you see your vision as far as pouring into people and helping people? How do you deal with that? Or how would you advise other people deal with it? Because you're probably a little bit more seasoned with it now.
So what I do now, because our videos, especially when it comes to TikTok, we got over 179 million, views and
Mm-hmm.
engagements on there, and then on Instagram, each video is doing at least
Yep.
2 to 3 to 400,000 within a couple of days. So you go through the comments. I still read comments. A lot of people advise me
I
not
don't know
to.
nobody that don't.
Yeah, I have to read my comments. But you see people that don't agree, but I think it's easier for me because I know the perception and where I'm at. I'm not on the inside
Yeah.
looking out. I'm literally on the outside looking in at the world and the way that the government system have been set up and what the higher ups are doing and what health and disease is doing and how it's plaguing the black community. So I was able to take myself out of the equation and look in. And when you are looking at something from above, you can see the whole chessboard
Yeah.
instead of being a piece on the chessboard.
Yeah.
So I'm not a piece on the chessboard. I'm above it looking at the chessboard. So when you see somebody that's a piece on the chessboard disagreeing with the person that's looking over the game, it's
Yeah.
like, what is even the need to respond? Unless, because it is war,
Yeah.
unless they response have gathered everybody else on the chessboard.
Yeah.
That's when you
You
respond.
get too much traction.
Yeah, then I gotta say something. Even if I do say something, I'm not mentioning your name because I'm not finna promote you.
Yeah.